Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. I'm wanting to start off a new series today. I'm not sure how often I will do this. It's something that eventually I'm going to build into my Patreon when I launch it. I don't have Patreon at the moment, but I'm aiming to have that hopefully launched on the 1st of November. And a lot of the content I will do on Patreon, but I want to provide it for my regular subscribers as well, and give you some of this because it's an idea that came to me one night when my husband and I were about to fall asleep, and he said something, and then that sparked something in me, and we had a wee discussion, and then I spent the rest of that night just unable to sleep because so many ideas were going through my head. And I've been super excited about it, but I've just sat on it and I've kept adding ideas as they've come to me and just trying to work out how I want to approach it. And I chatted with my friend Lydia from February and June about, you know, which way I should go with this. And so it's taken me some time to get to the point where I can start into this, and I'm just as excited as when these ideas first came to me. Sorry, I seem to have some air trapped in my chest. So what the series, I've decided to call it Wonderful. So I really had planned to write that out for you and haven't, so let's just write it here. So Wonder hyphen fill. So hopefully you can read that. So that's what I'm calling it. And basically the concept is that trying to recapture the wonder that you have as a child. Because as a child, everything's new and exciting. And like for Christmas, for example, if you think back to Christmas, I don't know if it's like this for you, but when I was growing up, between the end of school and Christmas Day, it was generally around 2 weeks, I think. It seemed to go forever. Like it seemed to be months within those 2 weeks. And now it's like you're doing stuff, and oh, hello, it's Christmas Day. Like there's that sense of wonder and anticipation and build up is evaporated. And I really want to encourage everyone and artists and that to recapture some of that wonder of their childhood. And I've got a variety of activities, and I would say it's mostly a journaling challenge, so about journaling about yourself or about how you feel, including it in your daily journaling. There will be a few things that cross over into journal making sort of territory, but it's more about your personal journey, your personal walk, and your personal journaling. So that's kind of a brief overview, and as things occur to me, I'll add them in and, you know, give you a few more details. It's going to be a mixture of activities and recapturing memories and doing activities today like you might have done when you were young and how you felt about doing those, you know, all sorts of things. So for today, it'll be today, tomorrow, if that makes sense. I'm recording this in the evening on Thursday, and you'll see it on Friday, New Zealand time, because I'll be out all day tomorrow, so I need to do the video tonight. So there's an activity I used to do as a kid, and I loved doing it, and I've done it as an adult maybe twice in the last 30 years. And it's really fun and freeing, and yeah, so I don't even know what it's called. I'm just going to call it a scribble drawing. So to set up the scene, I want you to free yourself up. No expectations, no pressure, no anything. Grab your favourite supplies for colouring. I've got out my Sharpie markers. I'll just put my lid on so it doesn't dry out while I'm talking. And these scented finer markers, just because they were easy to hand and I enjoy using them. I like the bold colours. So grab out, it could be crayons, it could be watercolours, it could be acrylic paint, it could be inks, like just whatever you like colouring with. You could colour it with highlighters, coloured pencils. The list goes on. So whichever way you prefer, but some sort of medium like this, because this is a two-parter. So this is the first part. So if you don't know what a scribble drawing is, it's just doing weird and wacky curvy lines that go round and backwards and forwards and overlap and creating segments. Now, ending on a line, so this first starting line, I'll just join up to another line. So you've got individual little pockets. I would advise not making it too big because it's actually really time consuming to colour it all in. If you want to spend all day or a week doing it, by all means, but I want to try and kind of keep it tight, especially for video. And then I want you to do a second one. And just not thinking about it, just drawing random lines. And this is part 2. Oops, this pen looks like it's running out. And then just end on a line. So making sure your beginning and end sort of meet up, so you've got little pockets. So in your first one, I want you to think back. I don't know whether you've done this as a kid or not. If you haven't, then I hope you really enjoy this because it is fun. Especially if you like just bold areas of colour. And you just take your first colour and fill in a section. And then you take a different colour and fill in another section. And you don't have to work in order. You can chop and change, and you can do a few sections. Like I could have taken the green and done another green over here and another one. You know, work however you like. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Oops, this Sharpie I think's been run over some paint or glue or something. It's got one side that's not working very well. Or maybe I've just used it too much and it's running out. And you just go round and keep colouring until it's all filled in. And I would advise take a little bit of time, and you know, because we're trying to capture the wonder, the fun, the freedom of being a kid and doing this type of activity. So if you go over the lines, it doesn't really matter. But even as a kid, I tried to not go over the lines. So for me, that's natural. But if as a kid you were like just scribbled all over it and coloured in and called it done, then let yourself do that. You know, do it how you would have done it as a kid. And if you didn't do this, then how you think you would have done it as a kid. Now for part 2, I want you to then bring that sense of wonder into your adult being, or whatever age you are now, and how you would decorate it now, but in a fun way with no pressure. I hope that's understandable. So for example, in my adult life, I would still apply colour first. So I'm going to go ahead and colour a section. But because I know more, because I've developed my skills more, I've played with art more, you know, all those sorts of things, because I'm an adult now, then I might take that colour and then grab a pen and give it some details. Dress it up a bit. And again, keeping it loose and fun and free, without the pressure of having to make it a piece of art that you can show people. But I would love to see what you do, absolutely. And it doesn't need to be time consuming, doesn't need to be huge or fantastic. Play with something that you haven't done before. Play with something you've been thinking about but haven't got around to trying. Do different things. Do some text, or just play with it. I encourage you to really play and recapture the sense of wonder in just doing something for the pleasure of it. So I am going to continue colouring this one. I'm not going to do it all on camera because even at this size, it's still going to take me quite a while to fill in. These Sharpies actually might be too big for some of these gaps, so that's where the finer pens come in handy for doing some of these small gaps or segments. And it is actually quicker if you use the same colour and do a few different sections in that colour at the same time. It just does go quicker. So that's a wee time-saving tip, if you want a wee time-saving tip. And then once you're complete, I encourage you to pop it in your personal journal if you're a journaler. If you're not a regular journaler, then perhaps stick it into a scrapbook or a visual diary, something of that sort. And just write a few words about how it felt. What did it invoke in you? Did it bring up some memories? Did it make you feel happy? Did it stress you for some reason? Was it something you enjoyed, not enjoyed? I mean, not everybody enjoys the same sort of activity, so you might not enjoy this. But even there's value in that, and there's a sense of wonder as a child when we don't enjoy something. There's feelings and emotions surrounding that. So I encourage you to explore those as well, if there's any negative feelings or associations with it. Don't be afraid of them, but deal with them through your art and explore those. And write a few words, whatever you feel about it. You may have nothing. It may not mean or invoke anything apart from, you know, just filling in a bit of TV time or something. So just date it and pop it away in some book or diary or something. So that's just a very simple, basic starting point for this wonderful series that I want to run. So I'm not sure how often I'll do it on my regular YouTube. But I'll definitely run it as a series. I don't know whether it'll be once a month or more often, I'm not sure. But I think on Patreon it's going to be weekly once I launch that. So yeah, I would love some feedback, what you think of this idea of Wonderfill. Of course, you don't know too much. I've got so much in my head, but I just don't want to offload it all. I just want to take it slowly and build it with you guys. I'd love to see what you do if you do any of this, and you can tag me on Instagram, VisualizedNZ. You can come and visit in the Facebook group Visual Vibes, which is an open group. You can post it in there. Yeah, or you can even email it to me if you're not on those other forums. You can email it to me at visualizednz@gmail.com. I'd love to see what you do. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas too. I'd absolutely love any feedback. So I'm going to call it a video. I will post the completed one here both on the Facebook group and on Instagram once I've finished it, so that you can check in there and see what I did. Yeah, and I will be, I'm not sure if I can use the hyphen as a hashtag. So it might be without this, might be without the hyphen. Maybe just Wonderfill. Not sure. If you have any ideas for a hashtag, let me know, and I'll certainly consider those, because it's still very new. There's lots I've still got to work out, but I was just super keen to start it off so it doesn't just drift into nothing, because I think there's some good stuff that I've got planned. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day and a great weekend, and I will see you back on Monday. Bye for now.